we're looking at India's landmark free trade agreement with the United Kingdom that has come into effect today, opening a new chapter in bilateral economic ties by giving nearly 99% of Indian exports preferential access to the UK market. The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement between India and the UK, along with the Double Contribution Convention on Social Security, became operational from July 15. Commerce Secretary Rajesh Agarwal also described the agreement as a defining milestone in India's trade journey, saying it establishes a future-oriented economic partnership between the two major economies. Let's also take a look at some of the key details of this India-UK free trade agreement. What are the components of this? Starting with the duty-free access for almost 99% of Indian exports to the United Kingdom. This is a major part of this agreement. Moving on to some other details that we have. We also have a labor intensive and high growth sectors. They have been allowed to get now a boost. These include sectors like textiles, marine components and auto engineering and parts. Further, we are looking at for UK exports to India, tariffs are now reduced to 90% of the tariff lines. We are looking at also a reduction of the tariffs, of course, with the FTA in place. Up next, we also are looking at an aim to boost bilateral trade from $55 billion, where it is currently $200 billion eventually. We're also looking at opening of opportunities for IT-enabled services, finance, education and healthcare. Next, we also have as part of this comprehensive economic and trade agreement, sensitive sectors like dairy and agriculture that are now going to be protected for India. Remember, that's also a sticking point in the India-US FTA, but in the FTA with UK, that has been protected. The dairy sector, and finally we are also looking at immediate benefits for Indian exporters, phased gains for UK exporters. So these are some of the broad components of the free trade agreement between the two nations. Mithali is also joining us. Mithali Nikore, economist. Thanks for joining us, Mithali. How important is this really, and what does it mean for markets of both the countries?
Thank you so much for having me. I think this is a historic partnership. I mean, when we look at the plethora of free trade agreements that India has signed in the last, I would say 6 to 8 months, the UK CETA really stands at the top of the pile. We have the EU-India mother of all trade deals, and then we have the UK-India CETA, because the two countries and their economies are so compatible to trade. There are so many different opportunities that are arising, particularly for Indian merchandise exports to reach UK markets. Even now, when we look at the pharmaceutical exports to the UK, for example, it's just about, a 4 to 5% market penetration. Electronics, again, a 5 to 7% market penetration. So very honestly, the potential trade that can be realized, as the Ministry of Commerce has also pointed out, can be nearly double. So huge amount of gains that are possible.
All right, absolutely, Mithali, we hear you, but all that is the time we have. Thanks.